Tala for lava, and thank you for choosing Once a Warrior. My name's Monty Betham, and maybe you can thank me for finally getting this guy in. My guest today, Adam Blair, the famous guy. Thanks for finally finding some time for me.
It's been a long time. I know you've been asking for a long time, Mon. So it's a pleasure being here, brother.
Look, you're a busy guy. I thought you just had the one job, which is being the face of Sky TV. Wonderful show, The Ditch, on Thursday nights with Madison Bartlett. Wonderful on your commentary and everything with Sky. But what else is keeping you busy?
Yeah, I'm just trying to live my best life, Mon. I've only been retired for 3 years now, and on the side, I work for a Māori infrastructure business and as a relationships manager. So a bit like what we're doing now, just having conversations with big businesses and trying to connect them with our company. And because we're Māori, I'm passionate about it, and that's a big thing why I jumped into this area. I don't know anything about business. I thought I'll just get out there and learn and try and understand how it all works. And you're dealing with the big dogs of infrastructure and construction, so it's a bit different.
Barry, no doubt you've got a great rugby league mind, brother. Your career's been huge. You've done a little bit of SG ball this year. Do you see coaching as your future?
I enjoyed my time as a SG ball coach. I feel like it's my calling to help give some education and some development to these kids on my experience, whether that's mentoring or coaching. It's quite the same role. Yes. But that's my way of giving back to New Zealand Rugby League, as in general. There's got to be some great kids playing for the Warriors, some local kids playing for Warriors, and there's some good kids in the SG ball team that I coach that are even playing New South Wales Cup. So positive signs for everyone, great learnings and development for myself, but I don't know about the coaching yet. Yet.
You haven't been retired for long, so we didn't have to dig too far into the archives to see you do your work in the Warriors jumper.
Blair on the backfield will go all the way. What an effort.
Little Harlan Globetrotter stuff from Blair.
He runs into the shoulder of Blair. What a tackle that was.
They're going to score. Adam Blair.
Here is Nightingale, gets cleaned up by Adam Blair, and that wins the game for the Warriors. Oh, that's brilliant. Adam Blair is over.
Blair, when you see those highlights, bro, what memories come back?
I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be able to come home. I left when I was 15, and from afar I've always supported the Warriors because like any other Kiwi person over in Australia playing for an Australian team, the Warriors are your second team. When you play the Warriors, you want to beat the Warriors because you've got that little bit of a rivalry. But from afar, I just hoped one day I had got an opportunity to come home, and to come home to the Warriors and play for the Warriors was a little dream that I had one day doing.
Why was it that you had to leave? I mean, I joined the club at 15 years of age on a scholarship. A player of your potential, your ability. Why wasn't this your club from 15 years of age as well?
I grew up playing rugby union, and like every Kiwi kid, and me being from the north, there wasn't too much league going on there, and I wanted to be an All Black. I wanted to sing the anthem. I wanted to lead the haka. I got into New Zealand secondary schools team, and then they found out that I was signing up to go play rugby league, and they said, well, the pathway from here was either you go home back to Whangarei and play men's, and which I was 15 at that time, thinking, I'm going to get smashed from all those our Māori fellas back up north and all the uncles, and my head's going to be taken off. So I thought the opportunity to go over to league, learn the game of rugby league over in Australia, I thought it was a opportunity I couldn't turn down, and I thought I was only going for 2 years, and I said to my family, I'll be back in 2 years' time. Loved it that much, I didn't want to come home.
Talking to the Warriors and coming back, how long was that process of getting you across the line, signing it?
Well, the process was the longest one. I think I finished the season at the Broncos, and I was hoping that the Broncos kept me there, and I wanted to finish up at the Broncos. I really enjoyed my time at the Broncos, a really strong club. My wife's family's from there. I'm really close with Wayne, and I felt like I could go to Wayne's office and sit down and have a real good heart-to-heart or man-to-man conversation, and he was like, mate, the opportunity for you to go, you need to go. And Wayne being Wayne, he understands, rugby league isn't forever, and he said, you've got to take this opportunity. I just thought it was the right time to bring my kids and my wife home to experience not only me going to play for the Warriors, but our culture here in New Zealand, and I thought, I couldn't turn it down. It was hard to convince the wife, but obviously she's been on the journey with me since 2008, and she understands, and she's been the rock of, for us and my family. I got to a part of my career at the back when I was getting a bit old, even at the Broncos, where I started just really trying to take care of the younger Polynesian Māori boys coming through and giving them some knowledge and experience of what it takes consistently to be the best you can on and off the field. And I felt like that was part of my role coming home as well.
Okay, so you come home, there's a lot of transfers that year as well, some big signings. Talk about the leaders that were actually there and the leaders that come. Who surprised you, and who did you think, I like that leader, and I probably didn't expect that person was going to be that much of a leader?
Most probably Blake Green, but like now that I look back, like it was silly much for me to even think that he was going to surprise me, because he'd come in, obviously living in Australia, from the first moment he comes to me when I rock into precinct, he goes, "Blair, no one goes for coffees around here." I was like, no, but they don't go to coffees. But by the end of his tenure at the club, every person was going to coffee. So to be able to come into a place that's unfamiliar for him, to be able to lead by example, but then carry that with the others, and then thinking it's okay because he's coming in and showed some leadership. Now they're following. Obviously, Tohu Harris, we all knew what Tohu Harris could bring, and is continuing to do now for the club. His leadership is second to none. I think he's right up there with Simon Mannery in the way he carries himself when it comes to leadership, and I thought having those guys around would only help develop and help the Warriors be successful.
Absolutely. The leaders of men that you guys were coming in, and there were also some great leaders within the club then, combining them and merging together, how was that process?
Yeah, well, I think it was. I guess it's different. Like I grew up over in, half of my life over in Australia. Blake Green's from Australia. I know Tohu left at a young age. When we first started, it was their way or the highway. You had to adapt, and I think that the difference was coming home is that was the difference, is that we were the constructive criticism or the honest conversations. Yeah. That was the difference, and that was quite hard to get a gauge on the individuals in the group. But again, it didn't take away what we did, the guys that were away from New Zealand, that when we brought into the culture, into the group, that we were the leaders in trying to help those boys get a feel for what it is to play finals football, or get that feeling of, this is why we play the game of rugby league, because it's enjoyable. But we had some great leaders in there as well. 2018 first game was on the road though, over in Perth. What do you remember? Yeah, well, again, the Warriors do it really well now. They have been for a long time. They bring the families in and give you your jersey, your first debut jersey. I had my uncle here. Obviously, my family lives over in Australia, all over the place, and I have an uncle that lives in New Zealand. So to be able to have someone like him and his family, his wife, my wife there, my kids, to be able to present their jersey, that was a touching moment. And I've been away from home for so long, to be able to have my uncle there and just give him something that he's obviously missed half of my life growing up. But it's nice to be able to come home and do that jersey swap and represent the Warriors. But then going over to Perth, it was amazing. Just to be able to run in the jersey and the colours of the Warriors that I watched from afar and always wanted to be a part of it in some way, shape or form. But then to go over to Perth and with not too much expectations from everyone else, to go over there and beat Souths, I thought that day was a very special day, and especially all our boys that come over from Aussie that time, we were just pumped for the club in general.
Well, you're pumped, all right, because you won 5 in a row. Talk to me about those memories in that early 5 and why you think you were so successful.
I guess the taste of success, maybe that was the drive for everyone, and I think we just went out there and we worked hard. We won one game, we won another game, and I felt like everyone felt like, this is the feeling we want to be a part of. So your training standards lift right up, your everyday life lifts right up. You're smiling, you're cheering, you're walking around with your shoulders back, your head up. The club's happy, and I felt like that's what it felt like for those first 5 rounds.
That was the last squad to make the final series in 2018. What do you think was the keys to their success through that year, and the players, and what about the particular player?
I think Roger was a big key part of the energy. Your NRL season's quite long, and Roger just runs around like he's 12 years old and got all this energy, and he's a cheeky fella. But when you have someone that played at the highest level, that rides that energy and drives that energy, it just only lifts everyone else. You got Blake Green, who is just a football league head, just loves rugby league, and doesn't leave any stone unturned, and then you've got a group of young kids that are just excited to be there. And Pet was having, a great season, Ken was having a great season, and then you got Fusatu on the other side who was just catching screamers and can get tries from out of nothing. But I felt like we had a really good mix in 2018 where there was some leaders, there was a good balance in the middle, and then some young guys that have been at the club for a bit but just haven't had a taste of success with that. We're just jumping on board and having a feel for it. Like, I'd played some finals footy before, but it was just nice to be able to take the Warriors there. Although we didn't do well in their game, I felt like just for them to get a taste of what it feels like to play in those big pressure games and to be able to bring the best out of everyone. Such a fun time with those boys because they were just young and energetic, and it kept me young. I don't even know how old I was when I turned up, maybe 31. And I hung around, obviously as you get older, the teams get younger and you're just hanging around young kids all the time, and it actually challenges you every day to be the best you can, but it holds you accountable on and off the field because you're not young anymore, and you have to do things away from the club that are going to help you stay on that field consistently.
I mean, you made the finals, you're the last team to be in the final series. What happened in the next couple of years? Can you put it down to anything?
It was tough because I felt like, and this happens at every club. Every year when you play, even if you play a grand final and you win a grand final, teams are coming for you, and whatever you've done that year, it doesn't matter the next year. So you've got to go over and beyond what you did the previous year. And I didn't feel like we went there as a group. And that's the challenging thing in NRL is that, it's rugby league. The year goes, and if you perform really well, you play finals football, you're very lucky, but it only goes up another gear. So you can't get comfortable, and I felt like maybe we got a little bit comfortable in our timings after that, thinking it's just going to come. From experience, I know that it just doesn't come around the corner. You know what I mean? I was very lucky from my early ages being able to play so many grand finals and then missing out on so many and just going, what happens after round 26? So the thing, if I put my finger on anything, I felt like maybe we got a little bit comfortable and thought it was just going to happen again, and we just didn't go to training and make it happen.
Yeah. Playing against SJ when he was in the Warriors jumper and you weren't, what was that like? How hard was it, and how did you describe it?
Yeah, challenging, because you think, SJ, well, I was a little bit younger playing against him, and he was young and he was jumping around and stepping everyone. You think he's going to step you, and then he doesn't, and he just runs straight over top of you because you're bracing yourself for actually stepped. He skips across the field, he bangs you off his right and left foot, and those are some crazy memories, and I'm most probably in some of his highlights anyway. So, when I just show the kids, bro, check out this, look, Sean Johnson, he stepped me too, and they're like, oh, Dad, what are you up to?
Just on that as well, okay, Sean Johnson playing against, what's it like to play alongside him, and especially at Mount Smart, bro?
You didn't know what he was going to do, although you trained to do these plays. Sometimes he played what he saw, and that's what you want to encourage players to do anyway. It's being able to try and adapt to those things. You can't adapt to what Sean does. He's just too quick and too smart sometimes when on the football field. He steps someone, you're like, so every time I used to play with him and outside him, I started nice and flat on him because he just takes off, and I was never being able to keep up to him, and those are the things you learn by playing alongside him is how you adjust your timing to what he does, because he's so special at what he does. But I feel like, it was a great moment, some good moments and some good memories being able to play outside the likes of Sean Johnson. It was a big moment for the club when Sean left. I was over in the UK with the Kiwis and he was involved in there, and the news comes out. I think it was a really hard time for Sean, and from my point of view, or from the outside in, I felt like he never wanted to leave. He leaves, Cody comes in, and obviously I'm really close with Cody, but a complete different player to Sean Johnson, and the way that they carry themselves and how they play rugby league as well.
You've got a unique relationship with him, and talk to us about that relationship.
Long story, that one. Once I moved over at 15, and his parents used to look after us when we used to just go out of our home and go and stay with Cody, and I think Cody was 5 years old or something, so he was still a baby. So I moved to Melbourne, I'm watching down the 20s competition come in, and I hear this Nikodima, and I'm thinking, I know that name from somewhere. I can't even remember. I was just a little kid being naughty, and comes around, I go to the Broncos, and he goes, bro, you remember me? And I'm like, bro, I know, you know what I mean? And it just all clicked back together, and it kind of brought it all back when I went to the Broncos. And from then onwards, it's like, I've been like a bit of a big brother to telling him what to do and telling him off. And I felt like when I was around him, he's one of those players, he's a confidence player, and when he's doing well, you got to pump him up, but when he's doing wrong, you still got to try and hold him accountable for his actions as well. And I felt like I could do that with him, and I feel like that's kind of that bond that's happened a long time ago without even knowing, and then rocking up to the Bronx and then having that connection again.
300 games you celebrated in the Warriors colours. Memories of that game?
Yeah, I got Sinbin. Yeah, 300 at Titans, bro. But no one else would do it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't, that's me. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I went to the judiciary, got off it, so it wasn't bad.
Talk to me about the Sinbin. What happened?
I think it was, we're winning just, I think there's maybe 5 minutes to go. I come out of line, put pressure on the halfback, hit him a little bit late. That was the biggest memory for me. It's like, bloody hell, Adam, you got Sinbin in your 300th game, and we just won that game. And I was like, I'm so sorry, boys, but please win this game for me. But that was the memory. We won it, played 300 games, got the family out there. They were all there. I had friends. My mum, my sisters, my brothers all live up in Brizzy, so managed to have them there and show some support on that very special milestone.
I'll never forget 2020, your final year, and when they've closed the borders and you guys aren't coming back. Do you remember hearing that news for the first time and what was going through the camp? And how bad did it get, man? Yeah,
well, we finished the Knights game and we're playing the Knights game. We didn't know anything about it, and then we get back into the change rooms. We lost, and we're thinking, we're going to get a spray here, and it just went. The feeling just moved straight over to, boys, the border's about to close. COVID's hit. We need to get home, and we're like, we're on the phone, we're coming home, blah blah blah. But then the NRL managed to save us and keep us over there a couple more times. But that whole 3 weeks, we were just in limbo the whole time. And yes, you could say that you can focus on your football and try and put that stuff away. But the times when they said that the border's going to be closed, you ain't going to get home, I think that's when it kind of hits home. When everything you do as a football player, not only for yourself, but it's your family that you take with you on the journey, and it's them that get affected when things like this happen. So, and a lot of boys with family would have thought the same thing, where we just want to go home, and it doesn't matter about rugby league. I just want to get home to my family, and whatever happens, happens. So, tough times for the club and for every individual player that was involved in that time. But again, we managed to come back home, and that was, being locked in your house for 6 weeks or so, and trying to train when you got crazy kids, you know what I mean? I think I got one Bronco done, and that was 6 minutes. And that's all the kids gave me, you know what I mean? And that's looking after my six minutes. And the way you had to try and adapt to your training method, especially being at home with kids, like I ended up just getting the kids on bikes and I used to just chase them, you know what I mean? Trying to make it fun and stuff like that. And then you go to Tamworth, and then you're locked in a hotel, and then it's just you and the boys. And I felt like that time there, bro, that was the hardest preseason we've done in a long time, because I felt like they just tried to front load everything into like a small block. But we made it work, and yes, everyone felt sorry for us, but I felt like, besides the people that couldn't have their family there and the young boys over there, you're living a dream really without being at home. Like if you're young, you're in Terrigal, the beaches are there, the cafes, the bars, whatever there's there. Like you're getting paid to play the game that you love. You're 18, 19, 20 years old, living the dream. Felt sorry for the guys that couldn't get Rogers, who hung it out, stuck it out all the way to the end without having their families over there. Those guys are the ones that hurt the most, and I felt like the staff were a part of that as well. They're the ones that I felt sorry for. I was very lucky and fortunate. My wife's Australian, so she came over for holiday, but she got stuck over there because she couldn't get back. So we're grateful for everyone around Terrigal, the cafes, the bars, whatever we had, the clothing shops, the schools that actually got our kids into school and stuff like that and made it home for us. Very grateful for those people. But it was a great learning experience for everyone, I guess, myself included, the families, the coaching staff, and how you had to overcome a little bit of adversity.
Your favourite players to play alongside or just to be around, and why?
Oh, bro, I love playing alongside Sean. I love playing alongside Tohu. I love playing alongside Simon, because we knew what Simon could do. He literally did all my runs for me, but that fella, like, if you get tired, bro, like that fella just takes all your runs. You're like, go for it, bro. Like, you're the man. Like, sometimes it was just a respect thing, really, or respect or tired. I don't know what it was, but it's like, Simon, bro, you're the man. You go, cuz, like, but Tory Harris is pretty much the same as like. like if you're tired, you look around, Toy Harris takes the run. You know, so those guys are pretty, like, really special to play alongside. But my favourite fella of all times as a play alongside bro is Leeson. Doesn't say a word. He become my roomie, the best roomie that you'd ever ask for, bro. Doesn't say a word. I'm like, Lees, bro, you want a coffee? You want anything? Nah, bro. Like, that's all you get from Lees. But no one could hit that fella. You couldn't beat him at a wrestle. And when I see people try and hit him, I'm like, bro, don't even chaff that fella. He's like a rock. But just a quiet assassin that, you know, you just respect because he's just like, you're waiting for him just to flick a switch, but he never does. But you're thinking, man, if I do something here, he's going to like get angry. But he never does get angry. But then quite a comedian on the outside somewhere, you know, him and Toy Harris used to have a little go at each other. And like that guy, I just enjoyed playing alongside him. He's just tough and just loves the contact.
What did it mean to finish as a Warrior?
This was a hard one, Mons. I just wanted to go away in the wilderness, bro, and just go sit in the hotel and then name it from in, like say that I was retired when I was in quarantine. So we were going into quarantine when we got back, and it was a hard decision to make because I was enjoying myself. I felt like the new rule of the 6 again kind of helped the style of the way I played, because I used to try and front load all my energy in defence. And sometimes I wouldn't get back for an opportunity to take a run. But with this new 6 again rule, like I may miss a couple of hit-ups and then they'll go 6 again, but I'm in the game. So I felt like the game kind of moved towards to where I was heading with my game as a little bit older, but still doing the things that I do. I sat on the couch a couple of times with the wife and said, yes. And then she's like, are you sure? And I said, no, I'm not. You know, I did that heaps of times. And I said, if you're going to keep asking me the questions, I'm going to keep saying no, because like I wasn't ready to finish, if I'm being really honest. But I'm quite lucky for the opportunities that I had on the outside before I actually made the call. But, you know, I made the call the day before captain's run, and then I told the boys at captain's run. And I didn't want to make a big deal about it. I just wanted to just cruise, like I said, just cruise off back to New Zealand. But the person that obviously gave me a kick up the arse about it was the wife. She said that you'll regret this if you don't tell everyone and you just go away. Your kids will have a memory that they'll have forever. As a family, you'll be better for it. And I thought, you know, everything I've done over my time, it's all been about my family, and that moment to share with them was very special. And to be able to do it for the Warriors, you know, I come off the bench, but you know, for some reason, I don't know if it was a coincidence, I had number 15 on my back, and you know, 15 years in the NRL, being able to play at the Warriors and finish at the Warriors, but then also being able to come home and just settle into New Zealand with my family was very special.
What sort of Warrior do you want to be remembered as, or how do you think you finished as a Warrior?
Again, bro, I put my body on the line, you know, trainings every day, and I put my body for a lot of work, and very grateful that I come out with not too many injuries or operations done. Very healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, all good. But I guess as someone that, you know, and I've said it to everyone, you know, someone that went out there and just had a crack, someone that everyone wanted to play with but hated playing against. And you know, I feel like I done that a fair bit throughout my career, where, you know, when I'm in your team, everyone loves me. When I'm not in your team, everyone hates me. And that's how I wanted to be.
Those are the best players.
You know, I did everything possible for my teammates when I could at the best of my ability. And then hopefully that they saw that every time I played.
Larry, once a Warrior, always a Warrior. We thank you for the mana that you brought and the service in the jumper, my man.
Awesome, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm on to beat them. Thank you for joining me this week. I will see you again next week right here on Sky Sport for Once a Warrior.
Blair in the backfield will go all the way. What an effort.
Little Harlan Globetrotter stuff from Blair.
And he rammed into the shoulder of Blair. What a tackle that was.
They're going to score. Adam Blair.
Here is 9.